we thought some progress was being made in an attempt to resolve the matter permanently, but it looks like there are new issues to deal with. I'm sure you have your ears on the ground. The latest development, what do you make of it?
Well, it's unfortunate. An attack on police personnel, resulting in some injuries and, I understand, death. However, it's not the first of its kind. I mean, we've seen a consistent pattern of violence against peace officers. In the past, an immigration officer was shot and killed. We've had police personnel killed in that area, including a police lady. I don't remember the name. Some few days ago, a soldier was also killed. And it's something that has been, happening. And beyond the two major ethnic groups at the center of the whole conflict, persons who are neither the two are even caught in the crossfire, sometimes deliberately even, targeted, from houses to Fulanis to BISES and other, groups in that area. All of them, all of the groups, all of the ethnic groups have had their kinsmen killed as a result of the violence, even though they are neither of the two main groups at the center of the conflict. And what has happened is quite unfortunate, because I do know I'm very positive about the president's commitment to solving this issue. As a matter of fact, it was his first official trip outside of Accra after his inauguration. Obviously, an indication of his unflinching commitment to dealing with the issue once and for all. He met the two principal actors, now Abu Gragwa as Walker II. He also met the Nayiri. And I do know that the Ashanti-Hine is also involved, just as he did it with the Committee of Eminent Chiefs with Dagbon. However, we are still witnessing a pattern of, violence in that area. There are some people who will not be happy about the prospects of peace. I mean, it always happens in every conflict situation. The more progress you make, the more uncomfortable some conflictpreneurs are. And so I am not surprised that this is happening, but they should raise themselves. They will be disappointed because the president is committed to dealing with the issue, once and for all. And I'm particularly also excited about the visit of the IGP to the area, even though the police was at the center of the latest round where their men were attacked. Instead of staging retributive attacks, rather, the IGP has taken the trouble to go and engage with people who matter in that area to find an amicable solution to the impasse between them and the police, and going forward, aimed at bringing peace to the area. So I must say, we are making progress, steady progress. However, we are still witnessing this violence, and we need to put in place some very sharp interventions to mitigate the violence that is going on in our quest to finding a lasting solution to the conflict.
I see. But in the meantime, do you think the IGP's move might do the magic?
It might not do the magic 100%, but it is a giant step in the right direction. Sometimes our people just want to be accorded the respect. They just want to be spoken with. Okay? The Bawku issue, I must say, as a conflict theorist, demands is a local problem that demands a local solution. Okay? You can't solve Bawku from Accra. You need to get down there and speak with the major stakeholders. And it will be one giant leap towards peace in the area. So the fact that the IGP has gone there is a major plus. Okay, speak with those who matter, get to understand what their menacing challenges are, and seek their opinions on what exactly can be done to bring peace in that area. And you see, I am excited about one thing: the commitment of the president. Once we have the president expressing, not just expressing, but living the commitment, demonstrating it, is more than enough. It gives us the way to peace in that area. And as part of the whole security infrastructure, the police plays a very central role. The military also plays, the immigration and the rest. All of them, they play very important, distinct roles in our quest to bring in peace in that area. But I am concerned about the seeming expansion. I don't know whether that's the right word to use, in the scope of the conflict. Beyond persons who are neither that tribe or that tribe getting killed, we've also seen the conflict spread to other parts of the region outside of Bawku. We have seen what is happening on the highways in the northeast region, where buses are touched, persons killed. We've also seen what is happening on the highways into Bawku, where people are, executed summarily and the rest. So it is a disturbing phenomenon. And before we'll be able to deal with the issue, we need to think multidimensionally, because it is a multidimensional issue. But like I indicated, the commitment the president has shown is one giant step in the right direction, and I'm hoping that all other stakeholders would feed in, and hopefully peace would be restored. The media, you also have a very important role, and this is personal to me because I'm a journalist myself, conflict-sensitive reporting. If you pay attention, I have consistently failed to mention either of the ethnic groups. Okay, we don't want situation where in reporting you say this ethnic group did this ethnic group did that. No, that is not conflict-sensitive reportage, because when you do that, you provoke passion, you provoke people into staging attacks because they feel they have been attacked. So we need to be careful, and that is the role, in my opinion, the media can also play. Beyond the media, the security services, the civil society organizations, and all those who matter.
Well, it's quite interesting monitoring everything that has happened in Bawku. You still insist that the best solution is to stick with the process that has been started and being led by the SAANI?
Sorry, can you come again?
Do you think the best solution is to stick with that process that has been started and being led by the SAANI?
Absolutely, absolutely. It is the president who actually started it with his first official trip to the area. And I do know that the Ashanti is engaging relevant stakeholders. But it just doesn't have to end with the talk. We need to also deal with other fundamental issues of proliferation of small arms and light weapons, issues of law enforcement, because once there's no proper law enforcement mechanisms, people are encouraged or emboldened to perpetrate crime because they know they will not be held to account. Issues of other actors, criminal actors engaged in human trafficking, armed robbery, and the rest, who are taking advantage of, the situation. Issues of human insecurities. It is sad to note that there's no bank in Bawku, believe it or not. 21st century Ghana. There's no bank. The last bank that operated left about a year or two ago. That is, I wouldn't want to mention that bank. And That is unbelievable. I mean, financial exclusion. So you see, beyond the fiscal insecurities, there are human insecurities. The nursing training college there, the students are crying. They are saying, look, we've had enough. Transfer us to other training colleges in the region. You see, so it's affecting education, it's affecting the financial sector, it's affecting their stomachs because there's no food. Food is in limited supply. The two ethnic groups, they have their two separate markets, okay? And I understand coming by egg, it's a big deal. Egg is a luxury in Bawku. Why does it have to be so? You know, food is sometimes even smuggled in into the area. So you see, it is pathetic. It is painful. Poverty keeps going up. A lot of the young men have left the area. They are in Accra, they are in Kumasi, they are in Techiman, they are all scattered all over the country because the prospects of a secured future is almost non-existent in the area because of the conflict. All right. So this doesn't just have ramifications for security in that area, but the whole of Ghana. That is why it is imperative that we find a solution to this conflict once and for all. Otherwise, you will be sitting in your room somewhere at Adenta Frafraha, and a Bawku issue would affect you. There are so many ways it can affect you that people think, oh, it's a matter of Northness, you know, it's their issue, they should deal with it. But it has severe cataclysmic ramifications for the entire country. Because, for example, maybe members, the individuals belonging to the two ethnic groups are living next door to your apartment. And one day there's confusion. They bring out guns and fire at each other, and a stray bullet would hit you in your room. You see the connection, you know. So we need to really be practical about this. And I am happy the president has shown the way. And hopefully, someday peace will be restored in Bawku, and we would all be happy to visit the area and get to enjoy the cultural diversity and the rich history the area has to offer.
In the meantime, one of the key to ensuring that these clashes don't continue is having security officers who act proactively and quell the fire before it gets out of hand. Now that there seems to be some bad blood between the police and then the Kusau people, how do you expect the persons who are responsible to handle this issue to ensure that the police and the military continue to do their job there?
Well, the one of the first things that has to be done is the engagement, which the IGP is doing. I am happy that the police didn't stage retributive attacks. They didn't retaliate. Rather, the IGP has decided to come down and engage the relevant stakeholders. I think it is remarkable, and it would ease the tension in that area. And before the IGP leaves, I can confidently tell you that it would appear as if there was no clash between any group and the police in the first place. Everybody would be okay, and it would be security business as usual. Okay, but had the police engaged retaliation, that would have exerted the situation, created more problems. Okay, so the IGP's trip is great. It is good. And I'm hoping it would restore to a very large extent some trust between the police and the youth.
Adib, thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Pleasure, sir.
And it's key that relationship between the security agencies and the people in Bawku continues to be cordial, so that security can be maintained in a manner which is agreeable to all parties. Because you constantly need that kind of ability to dialogue on all issues, so that you can continue to be the mediator you need to be in matters of security. And security nowadays is not majoring about enforcement. And when you say enforcement, people always think you have to always use force. Most of the times, what you do is that you use the tool of dialogue. So that kind of relationship is needed. So the earlier this matter is resolved, the better for all of us. Let's go over the phone lines again and speak to, Mr. Richard KUMADOE. Mr. Richard KUMADOE is a former security operative himself. He's a fraud and security consultant. Thank you very much for your time and good morning to you.
Thank you, Zana.
First, let me ask you what you make of what is happening in Bawku. The IGP is going there this morning to try to mend the fence in terms of the kind of bad blood that has developed between the police and then the people as a result of some incident recently. Good move for you?
Definitely he's supposed to go, because if he has not been there as a leader, that would have created leadership problems for him. He's not going to there purposely to speak to the chief of the town. He's going to do security risk assessment to assess the front line and to understand exactly what is happening. Then when he comes, I believe he will have a conversation with the president. Because once your man has been there for a very long time, it is reasonable to know that fatigue has set in and the personal motivation to do the job is gone. Then again, they've used the same methodology and the same approach, and it's not giving them the results. As a result, they have come under fire severally and on several occasions. It is just proper for the IGP to go there and have a feel of what is happening. Then he can understand it better.
But do you think a relationship between the police will ever be the same again?
The police, between the police and the people?
Yes. After this incident that they are reporting.
No, what they happen is that the people are not attacking the police, they are attacking the law. So this is what happened. It was the same police who used law to install the new chief with helicopter all over the place. And they saw the helicopter and they saw the police driving. Just when the trouble started, you turn your mouth because you are a politician, pretend as if you didn't see what happened, and you ask the police people to protect the new chief in the disguise that they are maintaining law and order. It is not true. The people have seen it. And the people have watched and they understood exactly what it is. So when you hear people or you see people within communities burning down police stations, they are attacking the law. This particular case has gone to Supreme Court. There has been a judgment. There has not been any counter judgment. It was based on that particular judgment that President KUMADOE gave his credence to establish the military camp there. So the people have seen it, they have heard it, they have read it, and they are attacking the law. That this law you brought here is not helping the Bawku Naba. This law is not maintaining any law and order. It's rather creating chaos, and that's why they went after the police station.
What do you think the approach should be, aside the IGP's visit?
No, I think after he has gone to the ground and come, he will understand fatigue. He will understand there's a logistic and communication gap between what goes on the ground and head office. He will understand the need to move 30 people and put in new people. Then he will also understand why the military and the police have not been able to cater for the public safety challenges we have experienced for all this while.
In the meantime, we are hearing that there has been the violence has spread to Binduri, so the military's attention has now been turned to Binduri. What does that mean for efforts to resolve this matter?
No, it's not the first time. You remember the military when they beat up everybody in Binduri. Binduri has been one of the hotspots in the Bawku enclave. So they've been there severally. This is not the first time. Whatever might have triggered this one will mean that those who attack the police station might have something to do with Bunduri, or there's a new threat they realize must be coming from Bunduri. But this is a reactive approach. The president was there recently, President Mahama, when the soldier was killed, and he admonished the people, don't attack the soldiers. And he admonished the soldiers, don't beat up the people. This has fallen on deaf ears, and this is what is happening. It is time for the nation to wake up and let's speak the truth for once. Today, everybody is lying. There are too many liars in this country. Nobody speaks the truth, and everybody has become a hypocrite. And that is what we are seeing. In every community, there's supposed to be one chief. And yet, we close our eyes and watch over many of these things. And it's creating a problem for us. And we are pretending as if, oh, it's a security crisis, it's an insecurity crisis. It is not. And we all know that you can't use military and police to resolve issues when it comes to chieftaincy, when it comes to tradition and culture, and many of the things that are the undertone of this Bawku crisis. And we are pretending. And so this is what you get when you pretend for a very long time.